Shadows crawl across the ice. Shadows stretch where the pale sun dies. Breath hangs still in the endless night, a hollow echo in fading light. The cold has teeth that never sleep, in the deep where the dark things creep. Below the ice, a hollow moan. You walk this waste alone, alone.
For the past 2 years, I've been meticulously reconstructing what remained of Subject Zero, what remained of him, the man who gave everything to save me. A shattered mass of burned synthetic muscle and scorched alloy, fused with what was once flesh and blood. We recovered only fragments, bones wrapped in the remnants of battle. But I couldn't let him fade into memory. Not after what he did, not after what I saw. My name is Dr. Howard Francis, lead cyberneticist and architect of DARPA's Black Operations Program, the one they whisper about behind sealed doors and concrete walls. I was tasked with creating the next generation of soldiers. Instead, I've awakened something I can no longer fully understand. Sergeant Cornelius Evans was my first success, my greatest creation, and my greatest failure. Now I'm bringing him back online, piece by piece, nerve by artificial nerve. But something has shifted. Outpost 616, our most remote facility buried beneath the ice of Nome, Alaska, has gone dark. Distress signals began as static-laced whispers, fragmented, indecipherable. Then, silence. The last report mentioned an anomaly, unexplained, uncontainable. Something inhuman. And now, as Evan's systems surge with life for the first time since his death, that same anomaly is making its presence known. There's a weight in the air, the kind that settles into your chest and refuses to let go. An instinct older than science. Fear. The researchers at Area 33 are calling for immediate extraction, but they may already be too late. Whatever has breached their walls, whatever woke up beneath the frozen crust, it wasn't part of any program I authorized. It was never meant to surface. And now, as Evans's eyes flicker open and his rebuilt heart pulses with synthetic precision, I feel it. That chilling certainty deep in my gut. Wake up! Can you hear me? It's Dr. Francis. You're not gone, not yet. Super Soldier Evans, it's time to return.
Where am I? Is that you? Doc, what happened? Everything feels different.
Evans, you're back, my friend. We did it. We brought you home. After your final battle with BEAR, we recovered what was left. Barely. It took 2 years in the dark, rebuilding piece by piece. But you're here now, alive. Again.
It's coming back to me now. Doc, what happened to the BEAR experiment? Did we stop it, or did something survive?
You gave everything to save me, my friend. We pulled your shattered body from the depths of that ravine. Thanks to your sacrifice, the BEAR experiment was destroyed. Now 2 years later, you're back, rebuilt, enhanced, something more. And once again, we need you. Listen carefully. A transmission just came in from Area 33, Outpost 616, Nome, Alaska. Lead cryptozoologist Linda Watson sounds terrified. Something's gone wrong.
Mayday! Mayday, this is Dr. Linda Watson, lead cryptozoologist at Area 33, Nome, Alaska. We need immediate assistance. It's here, and it's hunting specimen 61. It's massive, unlike anything we've ever encountered. Please, anyone respond before it's too late.
The transmission was brief, fractured by static and swallowed by darkness. But the urgency in her voice was unmistakable. Dr. Linda Watson's words cut through the noise like a blade. Fear, desperation, and something else. Something primal. We moved fast, no hesitation. Gear was secured in silence, each of us aware that whatever awaited us at Area 33 wasn't just another anomaly. It was something different. Something wrong. Super Soldier Evans, newly revived, stood motionless as I fitted the last of his tactical armor. His eyes, once human, now flickered with a cold light. I walked him through the enhancements: adaptive targeting, neural combat reflexes, a reinforced skeletal frame laced with memory alloys. But there was no time to test any of it. No simulations, no drills. We were going in blind. Cold turkey. DARPA's most skilled unit joined us, the Alpha Unit. Born in black ops and buried beneath layers of secrecy, Alpha exists only on paper to those high enough to read it. Their mission: contain the unexplainable. Cryptids, paranormal threats, extraterrestrial incidents. They don't ask questions. They eliminate problems. 4 accompanied us. Sergeant Jonathan Bailey, Johnny, a demolitions expert with nerves of steel and a grin that rarely faded. Corporal Quinton Glasper, Quint, a silent wall of discipline and rage, deadly with his blade. Specialist Connor Stewart, Clip, the tech savant with a twitchy hand and an uncanny ability to hack the unknown. And Private Landon Davis, Lando, young, untested, but loyal to the bone. We boarded DARPA's aerial transport in suffocating silence, the dim red lights painting the cabin like a mausoleum. The air smelled of steel, oil, and something unspoken: fear. The engines droned with a cold finality, carrying us away from safety and deeper into the unknown. Outside, sunlight bathed the runway, mocking us with its warmth, a false comfort that could not follow us into the storm ahead. As the aircraft climbed, the skies widened in deceptive beauty. Jets flanked us on either side, unwavering shadows of steel, their presence both protection and warning. For a fleeting heartbeat, the heavens felt calm, serene, almost safe. But serenity is a liar. Near Alaska, the sky turned against us. Clouds gathered thick and black, closing in like jaws, hungry and unrelenting. The aircraft shuddered as turbulence struck, rattling the fuselage, jarring us to the bone. The storm's howl consumed everything: thoughts, words, even breath, until only its voice remained, an endless scream that seemed alive. Alpha Unit sat rigid, stone-faced, their hands clenched around their weapons as though the cold steel could anchor their sanity. Every shadow in the cabin seemed to stretch too long, every silence between thunderclaps too sharp. And then there was Evans. He stood among us, silent, unreadable, his stillness oppressive. Something in him whispered danger, not with sound, but with presence. Like death itself had boarded the aircraft and taken a seat at our side. The flight would be long, over 10 hours, non-stop into the unforgiving north. Nome, Alaska, where the snow never sleeps and the wind screams like the voices of the dead. Visibility would be near zero. Winds were tearing across the ice like knives. But it wasn't the cold that chilled us. It was the silence, and the growing sense that something was already waiting for us. Inside the belly of the military transport, the air was thick with tension and the low drone of the engines. A pale, flickering overhead light cast long shadows across the faces of the Alpha Unit, their eyes dark and searching. We huddled close, voices hushed as we replayed Doctor. Watson's transmission again and again. Each time, her desperation cut deeper. Something had gone horribly wrong at Area 33. The words, "It's searching for specimen 61, echoed in our minds like a slow, creeping dread we couldn't shake. No one said it out loud, but we all felt it. This was more than a containment breach. This was a warning. As we prepared, their attention slowly turned to Evans. Rebuilt, reborn. A ghost made of alloy and scar tissue. Eyes widened as they studied him. Part legend, part weapon, part mystery. What can he do? Someone asked, almost afraid of the answer. Whatever we need, I replied quietly. But truthfully, I wasn't sure. Not anymore. And as the transport groaned against the wind and the cold bled through the metal walls, an unspoken truth settled in our bones. Something in that snow-covered outpost wanted us there. Something was waiting, and it wasn't afraid of us. Not even of Evans. Okay, Alpha Team, Bailey, Glasper, and Stewart will secure the perimeter of Area 33 and monitor for threats. Evans, Private Davis, and I will breach Outpost 616 to locate Doctor. Watson, her team, and any remaining personnel. Sergeant Bailey will now brief on surveillance and containment. Stay alert. Something out there is still alive.
All right, Quint. Clip, you're with me on perimeter sweep. Evans, Dr. Francis, and Lando will handle internal recon. Rendezvous inside once the outside's secure. Gear up. Whatever's out here, we face it together.
We suited up in silence, layering our snow gear against the biting Alaskan cold. Super Soldier Evans stood just beyond the base's airport, his eyes scanning the frozen terrain with unsettling stillness, like a predator sensing something the rest of us couldn't. The landscape was deathly quiet. Too quiet. A hollow calm hung in the air, thick with something unseen. Something wrong. Johnny moved first, taking point, his rifle steady and eyes sharp. Quint and Clip followed close behind, their breath visible in the frigid air. Evans, Lando, and I trailed further back, our boots crunching rhythmically in the untouched snow. Every step echoed like a warning in the stillness. As we approached Outpost 616, something stopped us cold. Tracks. Not just any tracks, massive ones. Partially obscured by wind-blown snow, but still clear enough to twist your stomach. These weren't human. The depth, the spacing, the shape. They didn't belong to anything we were prepared for. Something had been here, recently, and it was huge. What in God's name could have made those tracks?
A polar bear, maybe?
No, too big, too deep, too unnatural. Nothing human, nothing native. Specimen 61 matches cryptid level anomalies in my database, but data's incomplete. We need to investigate further. Doc, I recommend we stay close, very close.
Johnny raised his hand, a silent command to halt. We froze. Snow drifted quietly around us, falling like ash in the stillness. The only sound was the faint whisper of wind through the mountains. Without a word, Johnny moved forward, disappearing into the entry of Outpost 616. His steps were careful, deliberate. The rest of us held our breath as he vanished into the dark. Then Evans followed. Silent, mechanical, watching everything. His presence was heavy, unnatural, like something half alive. Quint and Clip fanned out, securing the perimeter. Nothing moved out there. Just endless white and the weight of the mountains pressing down around us. Inside, Evans scanned the corridor. At first glance, everything looked untouched. No signs of a struggle, no bodies. Just silence. The kind that doesn't feel empty, just watchful. Johnny flicked the power switch. The lights buzzed to life in flickering fits, casting long, jerking shadows across the walls. We raised our weapons. Every corner felt wrong, every shadow a threat. This section of the outpost was utterly abandoned. No voices, no movement, no signs of a fight. No blood, no bodies. Yet something lingered in the air, an absence so heavy it pressed against the skin. Evans strode to the main terminal, metal cables snaking from his gauntlet into the console. A faint glow ignited in his eyes as he dove into the system, searching the logs and security feeds for answers. We waited. The silence seemed to tighten around us, each second stretching longer than the last. Then Evans's voice came through the comms, low, grim.
Doc, something happened here. Something bad.
Evans triggered the final camera feed. The television flashed rapidly, with lines of static cutting across the image like scars. We leaned in quietly, the air dense with tension. Then, via the distortion, a glimmer of movement. Dr. Watson. She emerged on screen, eyes wide, breath strained, saying something we couldn't quite comprehend. The lights behind her pulsed red, creating frenetic shadows on the walls. The feed faltered, her face twisted in panic, before disappearing into static once more. We looked at the screen, transfixed. The hush that ensued was deafening. Whatever occurred here wasn't simply going wrong. Something had gone horribly wrong. I said nothing. I did not have to. The camera video said 1,000 words. That glance, those eyes, told us that whatever happened here, we arrived too late. The feed stuttered, freezing for a heartbeat. Her face contorted in raw terror, then dissolved into a storm of static, erasing her completely. She saw it, and it saw her. The atmosphere had shifted. Every breath felt heavier, tighter, as if the outpost itself knew we were intruding. Evans moved ahead, silent and calculated, guiding us through the dimly lit corridors. The hum of failing lights buzzed overhead, flickering in a nervous rhythm. Shadows clung to the walls like things that watched and waited. We reached what remained of the laboratory. The door creaked open with a shriek that echoed down the halls. Inside, a cold metal table stood at the center, massive, industrial, fitted with thick leather restraints. Something had been held there, or something had escaped. Scattered lab equipment lay shattered across the floor as if abandoned mid-experiment. Then our eyes were drawn to it. A gaping wound in the wall. Steel, 3 inches thick, torn apart, not broken, not cut, ripped, as if something monstrous had burst through it effortlessly. Evans raised his arm, activating his scanner, the soft blue glow dancing across the destruction. Data streamed across his visor as he tried to analyze what we couldn't even begin to comprehend. We stood frozen, not from the cold, but from the realization. Whatever did this, it wasn't human, it wasn't natural, and it was still out there.
Doc, based on the data, specimen 61 is a cryptid, around 7 feet tall, with superhuman strength. But whatever tore through that wall, it's bigger, at least 9 feet, over 700 pounds. And it's something else entirely. I need to collect more data before we can begin to understand what we're really up against.
Johnny, Quint, and Clip held the perimeter, rifles ready, eyes scanning the shadows. Whatever had torn through that steel wall like it was foil had vanished without a trace, leaving only silence and the lingering scent of cold metal and dread. Inside, the air was thick with unease. Lando stood close, his grip tight on his weapon as I worked beside Evans. He was already interfacing with the Outpost's research mainframe, the hum of encrypted data feeding into his system. The screen glowed with fragments. Research logs, security clearances, incident reports. Each file a puzzle piece soaked in fear. Specimen 61, a name that kept repeating. Evans' expression darkened. Something wasn't just wrong here. Something had gone terribly, irreversibly wrong, and it was still lurking in the dark.
Doc, according to the computer logs, specimen 61 is identified as an abominable snowman, a Yeti.
What? No, that can't be. That's just a myth.
That explains the massive prints in the breach. But if they took specimen 61, then what in God's name did this, Dr. Francis?
I'm not sure. Maybe Evans can clarify.
Doc, my analysis shows 2 distinct specimens. How they're connected is still unknown.
Johnny, did you hear that?
Yeah, it knows we're here. It's watching.
Evans, can you barricade the lab's rear? I don't want anything slipping through that breach.
Got it, Doc. I'll shift the wall and lab gear to seal the breach.
Another distant roar split the cold silence. Low, guttural, and unnervingly close. It echoed off the icy cliffs behind us, vibrating through the steel bones of the outpost. We froze. Something out there had found our scent, but it didn't charge. It didn't howl again. It lingered, watching, hiding in the white shroud of snowfall just beyond the range of our vision. The kind of presence you could feel behind your spine. It wasn't hunting us. Not yet. It was studying us. Evans sealed the final brace across the outpost's shattered entrance. Our brief illusion of safety returned, though none of us truly believed it. Wordlessly, we moved deeper inside, metal boots clanging against grated floors as the flickering lights above buzzed and stuttered. Evans worked as we moved, pulling up the outpost schematics through his neural interface. Streams of data scrolled across his visor, glowing like a ghost's reflection in his eyes.
Everyone, there's a reinforced passage on the far side. It leads to an auxiliary facility and a cave. Beneath it lies an underground bunker.
The cave. We sighed as we stopped. The phrase itself reverberated uneasily. A shadow under the ice. Ignored. Buried. Awaiting. But we had no other choice. We had to take the chance that Dr. Watson and the other survivors could be waiting to be rescued within the cave in the subterranean bunker. We would need to leave the outpost, return to the open, enter the creature's habitat, then pass into the next complex in order to get there. Wind was increasing and the snow was getting thicker. There would be very little visibility. Still, that creature waited out there. It had not ran. It hadn't launched an assault. We were able to move, allowing us to feel secure, as though the game had just begun, like it had only just started. Debris crunched beneath our boots, the twisted wreckage of the laboratory groaning as if resenting our passage. The storm clawed at the broken walls, carrying with it the sharp bite of snow and the distant echo of something. Watching. Ahead, the compound loomed like a dark sentinel, its silhouette etched against the pale fury of the blizzard. Beside it, the gaping mouth of a cave waited, black and hollow, like an open grave carved into the mountain's flesh. Johnny, Quint, Clip, and Lando moved forward with weapons drawn, their outlines swallowed by the drifting white, grim soldiers pressing into a frozen void. Their silence was heavier than the storm, a tension that spoke louder than words. Evans and I lingered in the ruins, eyes scanning every shattered corner, every shadow cast by the flickering stormlight. The wind hissed through the hollow frame of the outpost, a thin, spectral whisper that curled around us like a warning. My pulse hammered in the stillness. Something about the silence felt wrong, too deliberate, too controlled. Alpha Team broke into the open, their boots sinking into the snow. For one brief moment, there was only the shriek of the storm. Then it came. A grinding screech ripped the sky, metal screaming against ice, followed by a thunderous crack. A heavy guttural thud shuddered through the mountain itself, echoing down into our bones. The silence shattered, like the world had just inhaled before unleashing its fury.
It's an avalanche. Everyone watch out.
A thunderous roar split the sky, the mountain itself seeming to groan in agony as a wall of snow and ice collapsed in a blinding torrent. In seconds, the exit was gone, buried beneath a suffocating tomb of white. The shockwave rattled Outpost 616, the corridors quaking with the hollow echo of doom. Evans and I stood paralyzed, the air choked with frost and drifting shards that stung like glass. The cold pressed in fast, merciless, invasive, biting through layers of fabric as though our skin were nothing. Panic clawed at the back of my mind, sharp and insistent. But Evans was already moving, snatching the comms with hands steadier than mine. His voice crackled through the static, urgent, controlled. My own heart thundered against my ribs, my fingers trembling with the weight of dread.
Alpha Team, this is Evans. Alpha Team, do you copy? We're still inside. Repeat, we're still inside. The exit's gone. Do you read us?
We hear you, Evans. Are you in the dock all right? What's your status?
Johnny's voice bled through the static, fractured but determined, as though distance itself tried to silence him. For a heartbeat, the world around me was nothing but the low, electric hum of dying lights and the mournful creak of steel straining under the weight of ice. Each sound carried the threat of collapse, a reminder that the mountain pressed against us like a living thing, relentless and patient. The radio hissed again, a sharp breath in the void, and Johnny's tone sharpened, urgency threading through his words, the calm of a man holding fear at bay. My pulse quickened. It felt less like communication and more like a lifeline, each syllable fighting against the darkness that surrounded us. The silence between transmissions was unbearable.
Evans, Doc, status report. Any injuries? Can you move? Is your side stable? We'll work on getting you out, but we need the situation clear. Hold on, we're not leaving you behind.
We're alive, Johnny. Just sealed in. Don't waste time digging. I'll cut a path from our side. Give me an hour. We'll meet at the compound. Stay sharp. This avalanche isn't chance. It seems to be a diversion.
Evans, that thing's out here. You and Doc stay sharp. We're heading to the compound to wait out of the snow.
Copy that, Johnny. Doc and I will rendezvous at the compound as soon as possible. Over.
Roger that, Evans. Loud and clear.
Evans worked in grim silence, his heat array and laser cutter hissing against the frozen barricade. Each blast of steam curled upward like ghostly breath, vanishing into the cold, while the ice refused to yield quickly, as if the mountain itself meant to keep us entombed. Sparks flickered against the shadows, illuminating his tense face as he carved at the white prison wall. Outside, Alpha Team braved the storm's fury, their figures swallowed by a blinding veil of snow. The terrain clawed at them with every step, treacherous drifts shifting like traps beneath their boots. Yet they pressed forward, weapons at the ready, the compound and its looming cave a dark promise ahead. Johnny led them through the storm, his voice steady but edged with unease as he recorded the unfolding nightmare.
All right, team, move out. We're heading for the compound. Priority is locating the underground bunker. Stay sharp, eyes open. Through the blizzard's howl, Clip raised his binoculars, the glass fogging as the wind whipped against his face. His movements slowed, uneasy, and I felt the shift in his silence. Snow swept across the barren expanse, erasing shapes as quickly as they appeared, but his breath caught when he fixed on something half-buried. I strained to see it too, just a pale shape jutting from the drift, stiff and wrong against the endless white. For a moment, the storm blurred it into nothing, then sharpened it again. An arm. At least it looked like one, rigid and reaching from the snow like a frozen plea. My gut tightened. The mountain wasn't just burying us alive, it was keeping its secrets beneath the ice.
Johnny, I've got eyes on what looks like an arm protruding from the snow, half a click to the left, requesting permission to investigate.
Hold position, everyone. Clip spotted something in the snow, half a click out. Settle in, weapons up. Provide cover while he moves in to investigate the anomaly. The storm clawed at our faces as Clip edged toward the anomaly, each step cautious, deliberate, his outline wavering through the wall of white. We fanned out behind him, rifles raised, our nerves stretched tight as wire. The silence between gusts pressed harder than the wind itself, a silence that felt watched. Clip knelt, brushing at the drift, his gloves trembling as the snow gave way. What emerged stole the breath from my chest, a human arm, severed at the shoulder, stiff as stone, fingers locked in a clawed, desperate grasp. It didn't look buried by chance. It looked placed there, displayed. Clip fumbled for his comm, his silhouette barely visible through the suffocating veil of snow. The storm thickened, shuddering against the mountainside. until the avalanche's aftermath spilled into a white curtain that seemed to devour the landscape. One moment we could see him, blurred, flickering through the stormlight, and the next, he was gone, swallowed by the blizzard's blind spot. Then it came. A shriek, sharp enough to split the air, a sound so alien it drowned even the howl of the storm. My breath froze in my chest. The landscape had become unreadable, shadows and snow twisting into one endless void. And in that void, the creature waited. Clip! No! Its massive silhouette emerged, half-formed, frost clinging to joints that bent in ways no living thing should. Its surface shimmered, something between flesh and shadow, as though reality itself couldn't hold it. Before any of us could react, colossal arms lashed out, hooking around Clip in a single, impossible motion.
Clip!
His scream was cut short, strangled, and then he was gone, dragged into the blinding storm. We opened fire, weapons rattling in our frozen hands, muzzle flashes sparking like lightning against the snow. Bullets vanished into the blizzard, finding nothing, no blood, no body. Seconds later, silence returned. A silence heavier than death itself. Clip wasn't just gone, he had been erased, and somewhere within that endless white, the thing that took him was still watching. Dr. Francis, Evans, the creature, it took Clip. He's gone, I can't see him anywhere. Do you copy?
Johnny, come in. Did you say the creature got Clip? God. Tell me that's not true.
Affirmative, Doc, he's gone. No sign of him, just blood in the snow and silence. Clip was gone. Swallowed by the frozen abyss without so much as a scream echoing back. One moment he was with us. The next, the snow swallowed him whole, claimed by something unseen and monstrous. The snow was silent again, as if nothing had happened. No trace, no blood. Just the ghost of his last breath hanging in the cold. I couldn't accept it. Not Clip. Not like this. My grip on the rifle tightened as fury and fear wrestled inside me. We had opened fire, rounds tearing through the snow, cracking like thunder. But it was useless. The creature wasn't there. Not really. It was always just out of reach, toying with us, luring us into its domain, making us dance in the dark. But I couldn't let my rage become recklessness. We had to press forward. The others looked to me, their faces pale, drawn tight with dread. Every step through the blizzard felt like walking through a haunted dream, where shadows whispered and the snow seemed to breathe.
Doc, we'll be clear in a few minutes. Just hold tight.
Back at the outpost, Evans and I broke through the last layer of ice sealing us in. The wall gave way with a sharp crack, and a flood of bitter wind burst through the gap. We didn't celebrate. There was no relief, just adrenaline and the gnawing certainty that something was still watching. Evans and I exchanged a glance, both of us feeling the weight of Clip's absence. We moved quickly, weapons raised, nerves frayed. The cold wasn't just physical now. It had a presence, a whispering voice, a hunger. Alpha Team was still advancing toward the compound. We had to regroup. Whatever this thing was, it wanted us isolated, scared, divided. And it was working. But we weren't done yet. Not by a long shot. The last slab of ice split open with a jagged crack, and we stumbled out into the storm's jaws. Evans swept the darkness with his scanner, but nothing registered. No movement, no heat. Yet unease gnawed at me. A sense of eyes watching, unseen, patient. Alpha Team was ahead, already inside the compound, but the stretch between here and there felt like a graveyard waiting to claim us. The snow thickened into a wall of white, every gust biting deeper, every sound smothered. Silence pressed in, so complete it felt alive, a predator holding its breath. Evans muttered coordinates, scanning again and again, but the land remained barren. Too barren. As if something intelligent erased its trail. Johnny's voice crackled through the static, calm but taut with urgency. Alpha Team was inside, secure, waiting. We forced ourselves forward, my boots sinking into the endless drift. My nerves clawed at me with every shifting shadow. The creature could be anywhere. Beneath us, above us, already inside. Then the compound loomed, ghostly in the storm, its silhouette half buried and shrouded in snow. Relief flickered, but it was hollow, poisoned. The structure stood silent, its windows black, no warmth spilling through. We reached its gates, rejoining Alpha Team. Yet even together, the air inside felt colder, heavier. The compound wasn't a refuge. It seemed like a trap.
We're all here now, but Clip's gone. I know it hurts. I feel it too. But we can't let his death be in vain. We stay close. We watch each other's backs, and we make damn sure we don't lose anyone else.
Affirmative, Johnny. Doc and I scanned the area, and it's clear. There is no sign of the creature.
The compound seems clear. There is only a corridor leading to the cave entrance.
What's our move on the creature? It's still out there.
The creature's motives are unclear. Seems to be hunting us while searching for something. Feels like revenge, but I'm not certain.
We need to locate Dr. Watson and the survivors. There's a tunnel by the corridor to the cave entrance, and that will be our next move.
The compound was unrecognizable, gutted and ruined, as though some monstrous machine had plowed through it, leaving nothing but devastation in its wake. Walls were buckled inward, doors torn from their hinges, and the floor was littered with shattered laboratory glass, twisted metal, and the fractured remains of computer consoles that once pulsed with life. A sterile place of science had been reduced to a graveyard of broken things. Johnny's voice was steady, though even he could not disguise the unease threading through it.
We push deeper, down the corridor, then into the tunnel. The cave entrance is ahead. If Dr. Watson and her team are alive, that's where we'll find them.
His words were our compass, though none of us could ignore the shadows pressing in like a silent, watching crowd. We moved cautiously, boots crunching against debris that seemed far too loud in the suffocating quiet. The air was heavy with the metallic tang of ruptured wires and something far older, earth and rot, as if the cave itself had exhaled. Lando took point, his rifle sweeping the corridor with crisp precision, while Evans trailed behind, eyes scanning every flicker, every hollow echo. I watched them both, my pulse pounding, my grip on the weapon slick with cold sweat. The tunnel yawned at the end of the corridor, a black maw in the distance, promising both refuge and ruin. Then it happened. Sudden, silent, merciless. Evans froze mid-step, his gaze locking on something that flickered just beyond the edge of sight. His breath hitched, urgency rising in his throat. He moved to shout, to warn, but he was already too late. The cave seemed to shudder. Something was there, waiting, moving in the dark. And it had seen us first.
Lando, watch out!
The tunnel betrayed us. Lando stepped forward, unaware the ice itself was watching. What looked like a harmless rock was a snare. He moved just in time, but the wall collapsed anyway, burying him alive. A grinding moan rolled overhead as the corridor behind him gave way. Snow and ice poured through the passage in a roaring surge. Before we could react, the tunnel unleashed its fury. An inner avalanche thundered down, sealing Lando's fate forever in darkness without mercy or hope remaining. It was over before it began. No scream, no chance. Lando was there, and then he wasn't. His body obliterated beneath the crushing weight. The silence afterward was worse than the impact, a hollow void that swallowed even the echo of his existence. Evans moved on instinct as Johnny, Quint, and I fell back into the corridor, shadows swelling at the tunnel's far end. His pulsar ignited, a blade of blue fire slicing the dark, only to strike stone, empty, unanswering, while the darkness breathed back slowly. The creature was there. We felt it more than saw it, its presence threading through the air, a predator's gaze pressing against our skulls. It was intelligent, calculated, patient, not just hunting our bodies, but unraveling our minds, feeding on the fear that festered with every step we took. First Clip, now Lando. Each loss deliberate, methodical. A cruel game played in silence. And in that suffocating dark, the truth settled in. It wasn't just killing us. It was choosing who would be next.
Damn. The creature killed Lando. It's outthinking us, adapting. I've never seen anything like this. It's picking us off one by one. At this rate, none of us will be left.
Johnny, this Yeti, it's no mindless beast. It's calculating, laying traps, waiting in the shadows. Its size could crush us, but it's using strategy, not brute force. Without our weapons, we'd be done. I couldn't warn Lando in time. Its unpredictability is throwing me off. I can't anticipate its next move.
So, we're walking blind, Evans? No idea what's waiting, no plan. Just us and our instincts. Every step could be our last in this frozen graveyard.
Yes, Quint. No pattern to these traps. The Yeti's unpredictable. It's using us for something. But I can't figure out its endgame.
We're walking right into a death trap, Evans. Every step feels calculated, like something's waiting for us to slip. This place isn't just hostile, it's set up to destroy us.
Indeed, Doc. There's a plan. But this particular Yeti is using us. And it's searching for something.
We moved through the cave with every footstep heavy, the air thick with silence and tension. The map Evans had downloaded was our only guide, a lifeline leading us deeper into the unknown. We had no idea where the Yeti was, or if it was even still following us. The feeling that something was watching us from the shadows never let up. The tunnel stretched before us, an endless black maw, as if the earth itself were trying to swallow us whole. Finally, after what felt like an eternity, we reached the vault door. But it wasn't the cold steel we'd expected. It was something far worse. The door looked as if it had been assaulted by a beast. Giant, twisted handprints, like the remnants of a nightmare, were etched deep into the thick metal. The indents were jagged, twisted in unnatural angles. My heart sank. The Yeti had tried to get in. Whatever it was, its strength was beyond anything I'd ever imagined. The force behind those marks was unimaginable. But the door held, standing as a final barrier between us and whatever lay within. It was a solid, impenetrable fortress, at least 23 inches thick, forged to withstand the impossible. Still, I couldn't shake the feeling that it wasn't enough. Not against the creature we'd just escaped. I stepped forward, trembling as I approached the handprint recognition device. My breath came in ragged bursts. We couldn't afford hesitation now. The entire fate of the team, maybe even the world, was hanging by a thread. I placed my hand on the scanner, the cold metal biting into my palm, the red light scanning my fingerprint, my DNA. With a low, ominous hum, the door began to groan, the thick metal shifting and opening piece by piece. The sound echoed like a death knell through the cave, a reminder that what was on the other side might not be any better than what we'd left behind. The air beyond the door was heavy, suffocating. We were about to find out if Dr. Watson and her team had made it, if they were still alive, or if this was another trap. I couldn't let myself think about what the creature might be doing while we stood here, unprotected, vulnerable. Whatever waited for us behind that door, I knew one thing for sure. We weren't safe. Not yet. The vault door groaned shut behind us, sealing away the hollow echo of the cave. Darkness pressed in as the inner entrance loomed, a silent guardian to secrets buried deep. My hand trembled against the scanner. Its cold surface awakened, reading me, before the steel door sighed open. The air that spilled out was stagnant, heavy with the scent of dust and abandonment, as though the bunker itself had been holding its breath. We descended the narrow staircase, each step creaking under the weight of dread. Evans, Johnny, Quint, and I, reduced survivors, moved as shadows into the main computer lab. The room was empty, lifeless, yet suffused with a presence unseen. Evans approached the terminal, his fingers finding the console. The system flickered alive, whispering secrets through the static glow.
Doc, the system shows Dr. Watson and her team deeper in the facility. They've got another specimen, 61, locked in ice, still in stasis.
Another specimen? No, it can't be. You're certain it's Cryptid 61.
Yes, Doc. It's confirmed. Another specimen, 61, another Yeti.
Wait, don't tell me. Another one of those things? Here? Inside the bunker with us?
Affirmative, Johnny. Another Yeti, contained in forced stasis. Dr. Watson is with it. For now, we're safe. That thing can't breach the vault. Not yet.
Quint led the way, his boots striking the floor with uneasy finality, Johnny trailing close with his weapon raised. The corridor stretched endlessly, shadows writhing with each flicker of the failing lights. My breath caught in my chest, the air dense with metal and something colder, unseen. At last, the laboratory door appeared, scarred and battered, as though something desperate had tried to claw its way inside. The hatch hissed open, the sound sharp as a scream, and there stood Dr. Watson. Her eyes were wide, hollow with secrets, her voice trembling on the edge of madness.
Thank God you're here. That thing's been trying to break in. We've been trapped. It's hunting for the specimen.
Dr. Watson, the Yeti's relentless attempts to breach this bunker aren't random. It's after your specimen, almost as if it recognizes it, or wants it returned.
Hell, why not just give it what it wants and end all this, Dr. Watson?
It's not that simple, Jonathan. DARPA isn't about to part with its most prized asset.
Damn it! We were sent here on a lie? This was supposed to be a rescue mission, and they set us up.
Dr. Watson had known. Every lie, every omission. She had carried it silently. 2 lives shattered, ours dangling by a thread, all expendable in DARPA's merciless calculus. Super Soldier Evans and I weren't sent to save anyone. We were sent to reclaim their prized possession, a thing more valuable than human life. Rage and betrayal twisted in my chest, sharp as a blade. Dr. Watson stood there, pale, unwavering, ready to die for them, for their obsession. The shadows of the bunker seemed to close around us, cold and unyielding, as if mocking our helplessness. Every heartbeat throbbed with fear, every breath tasted of dread. We had been pawns in a cruel game, blind to the rules, forced to confront the horrifying truth. The very people we trusted were willing to sacrifice us all.
Doc, it looks like we've been deceived about the true purpose of this mission.
Yes, Evans. We've been deceived. Human greed has trumped all reason, all respect for life, and for everything on God's green earth. The anger and grief were suffocating, wrapping around us like the icy wind. DARPA had used us, discarded us, treating lives like currency in their cold game. But there was no time to mourn, no time to curse them aloud. The real predator was still out there. Somewhere beyond the battered walls of the compound, the creature waited. Silent, patient, watching. Its presence pressed on us like a weight, every crunch of snow underfoot a reminder that one false move could be the last. Fear gnawed at our resolve, but so did fury for the friends we had lost. Every heartbeat screamed in anticipation. Every breath tasted of tension and frost. Composure was fragile. We clutched our weapons, knowing survival demanded every ounce of focus. DARPA's betrayal was bitter, but the Yeti's looming shadow was absolute terror. The monitors flickered in the dim light, each screen a ghostly eye straining to pierce the storm outside. We searched for movement, for any sign of the creature lurking in the white void. But the snow swallowed everything. The wind howled against the steel walls, a relentless reminder that the world beyond was no longer ours. Dr. Watson led us deeper into the bunker, her steps brisk but haunted. The corridor narrowed, shadows pressing close, until the reinforced doors of the chamber loomed before us. Beyond them lay Specimen 61. The chamber's air was colder, sharper, as though even the concrete feared what it contained. Encased in a block of glacial ice, the thing slumbered, its monstrous form half seen through frost and mist. Every jagged silhouette whispered of violence waiting to wake. Only 3 of Watson's people remained, their hollow eyes fixed on their instruments, hands trembling as they tended the machines tasked with monitoring and dissecting its DNA. They looked less like scientists and more like prisoners chained to a nightmare. Silence stretched, heavy and suffocating. The storm outside could not touch us here, yet the weight of something far worse pressed in. Then Evans spoke, his voice cutting the stillness like a blade. And in that moment, I realized even he felt it. This was not containment.
Computer analysis confirms Specimen 61. It's female.
Evans, are you saying the Yeti outside could be the male of the species?
Could be, Doc. From its behavior, it's clear. It's trying to breach this facility.
Hold on, Evans. You're saying that thing outside, it might share some kind of bond with the female? An intimate connection?
They're both Yetis. The one outside could be male, the one inside female. That may be exactly what we're dealing with.
Speculation gnawed at us, whispering the truth we didn't want to face. That the Yeti's relentless assault was not random, but driven by something deeper, something primal. The female specimen in hibernation stasis might be its mate. That thought alone tightened the cold around my chest like a vice. But we were too drained to form a clear plan. Grief weighed heavy. 2 of our brothers lost to the snow, their screams still echoing in the hollow silence of my mind. Every face wore exhaustion like a mask, and even Evans' tireless machine of flesh and steel faltered. His power reserves dipped low, his once constant hum fading. Night fell like a suffocating shroud. We barricaded the doors, kept weapons close, and forced our weary bodies into uneasy rest. Shadows crawled along the walls, alive in the dim emergency lights. Every creak, every gust of wind scraping against the bunker felt like claws dragging closer. And then, at 1:30 a.m., it came. The sound was not thunder, though it shook the walls like a storm. It was heavier, deeper, an ancient force pressing down on us. The vault door groaned under something vast hammering against it, each strike a death knell echoing in the marrow of our bones. Sleep fled. Fear returned. The night had found us.
Wake up, everyone, now. The Yeti breached the vault. It used Lando's corpse on the hand reader to get inside.
Oh God, it waited for us to slip. We were pawns. It watched, learned, and used the reader against us.
Damn it. Quint, grab your gear, lock and load. We're going in hot now.
Negative, Johnny. That's its trap. I'll advance, unseen. Hold position and wait for my signal before leaving the lab.
Dr. Watson, her surviving team, and I remained sealed within the confines of the laboratory, the frozen mass of Specimen 61 looming like a silent sentinel in the chamber's heart. Its presence was unsettling enough, but the silence from Evans, Johnny, and Quint pressed on me like a weight. No chatter, no updates, nothing but the still hum of machines and the rising thrum of my own pulse. Evans had devised a method, signaling with brief flashes of light, luring the Yeti's attention away like a cruel game of shadows. For a moment, I prayed it would work. But the silence outside thickened, pressing against the walls like something was alive. Then it happened. A hollow, thunderous boom reverberated through the bunker's steel bones, rattling equipment and clawing through my chest. The light sputtered, died, and we were swallowed by complete darkness. Every camera went blind, every monitor flatlined. The Yeti hadn't stumbled into this, it had planned it. Auxiliary power groaned to life, casting the lab in a dim, sickly glow. But it brought no comfort. Instead, the air grew colder, a creeping, merciless chill slithering into our lungs. Frost began to form on the edges of the glass, crawling like veins, as though the entire facility itself were suffocating. It wasn't random destruction. No, the beast was cutting us off, choking us slowly, forcing us into the open. We were its prey, and it was the hunter, patient, silent, deliberate. Every choice it made was with purpose, each step designed to herd us into the jaws of inevitability. In that moment, I realized something terrifying. This was no mindless monster. It was an assassin in the dark, intelligent enough to turn our sanctuary into a coffin. And we had nowhere left to run. It was a trap. Perfect, merciless, and absolute. The walls felt as if they were closing in, sealing our fate beneath the ice. Every echo, every shadow whispered of something ancient and cunning. Yet what unsettled me most wasn't the creature. It was Dr. Watson. Her eyes held secrets she refused to share. Her calm too deliberate, her words too measured. I could sense it, the weight of truth pressing behind her silence. Something about Specimen 61. Something she buried beneath layers of protocol and lies. The way she avoided my gaze told me everything I needed to know. This nightmare wasn't born of chance. We weren't trapped by the monster outside. We were trapped by the secrets within. And somehow, I feared she knew this was always how it would end. Dr. Watson, I need full transparency. What's really going on with Specimen 61? The creature outside isn't acting like a predator. Its movements, its focus, it's deliberate, almost protective. It's not hunting. It's trying to reach something, or someone.
Dr. Francis, I'll be honest. We were wrong about Specimen 61. We couldn't resist studying it. Its biology was unlike anything we'd ever seen. We didn't know it was pregnant. Then another appeared, massive, inhuman, 10 feet tall. It wasn't hunting us, Francis. It was searching for her, and we took her.
The truth echoed in my mind, cold and merciless. The temperature plummeted, frost creeping along the walls like veins of death. Without power, we were blind. Prey trapped in the dark. The silence pressed against my skull, a suffocating weight that made even breathing feel dangerous. Quint's nerves cracked first. He stepped into the shadows, weapon trembling in his grasp, the beam of his flashlight swallowed whole by the void. Don't! I tried to warn him, but the words died in the air. The darkness felt alive, pulsing with a presence just beyond sight. Evans stood motionless, his mechanical eye whirring faintly as he tried to lock onto the creature's heat signature. But nothing. Even his enhanced vision saw only emptiness. Then came a sound, quiet, deliberate. A whisper of movement like claws scraping against ice. Evans froze, head tilting, scanning. "It's here," he murmured, voice barely a breath. The air thickened, charged with a primal dread. The faint hum of the backup systems flickered, casting stuttering red light across the corridor. For an instant, I saw it. Something impossibly large moving just behind Quint. Before anyone could speak, the light died again. A scream tore through the dark, sharp and brief. Then nothing. Only the echo of wind and the sound of my heart hammering against the cold.
Quint, what the hell are you doing? Evans hasn't signaled. Stand down. We're blind out here. One wrong move, and we're dead.
Johnny, I'm not just going to sit here and wait to die. I'd rather go down fighting. On my feet, not in fear.
Now Johnny, Quint, and Evans were gone. Swallowed by the black maze of the underground complex, their comms filled with nothing but static and breath. Dr. Watson's remaining team huddled in the dim safety of the lab, shadows dancing against the frosted glass. Somewhere in the dark, the creature moved, silent, unseen, its form melting into the walls like living shadow. Quint crept through the corridor, his rifle trembling in his hands. The air had grown colder, thick with dread. The vault door behind him was sealed tight, but where was it? The thing? The thought gnawed at him. He reached the power corridor and froze. The generator. Gone. Not damaged. Gone. Torn clean from the concrete, as though ripped out by an invisible god. It weighed over a ton. A shiver crawled up Quint's spine. His breath came in bursts, crystallizing in the air. For the first time, fear, real, paralyzing fear, took hold of him. No Evans, no Johnny. Only silence, vast and suffocating. Then movement. A faint glimmer. A figure. Evans. He appeared from the darkness like a ghost given shape, moving slowly, carefully, his weapon raised, eyes scanning the black void ahead. Somewhere beyond their fragile light, the creature waited, watching. And in that suffocating silence, the bunker felt alive, breathing, listening, waiting. Evan's voice was a low whisper through the comms, cold and precise. "Stand down, Quint. It's here." His tone carried the kind of certainty that froze the blood. Quint's pulse thundered in his ears as his eyes scanned the dark corridor, searching for movement. But the shadows seemed to shift on their own. Something massive lingered out there, unseen yet everywhere. How could it hide so completely? Its intelligence was terrifying, predatory, patient, aware. Even Evans, with every sensor and instinct honed for war, couldn't track it. The creature moved like smoke through the black, listening, learning, mimicking. Every breath they took, it mirrored. Every motion, it studied. Then, from the far end of the hall, footsteps. Human. Johnny emerged, his silhouette breaking the tension for a fleeting second. Quint turned, startled, the crunch of his boots echoing like a gunshot in the frozen silence. That single sound was all it needed. A blur of motion erupted from the darkness. Impossible speed, impossible strength. The air itself seemed to recoil as the creature struck. The sound, a deep, wet crack, snuffed out the moment. Johnny's flashlight spun wildly, flashing glimpses of teeth, frost, and something far too close. Then, silence again. Thick, absolute. The creature was gone.
Johnny, move, now! It's coming your way.
The thunderous roar of twisting metal shattered the silence. Then the power generator came hurtling down the corridor like a monstrous boulder loosed from hell. Evans reacted on instinct, pushing Johnny out of the way as the machine screamed past, slamming into the floor with a bone-rattling impact. Sparks flared, smoke curling through the frigid air. But as the dust settled, realization struck like ice in Evans's chest. The generator wasn't meant for Johnny. It was aimed for Quint, a calculated strike. The creature wasn't lashing out blindly. It was hunting with purpose. In that frozen corridor, amid the wreckage and echoing silence, Evans understood the terrifying truth. They weren't chasing the monster. The monster was driving them exactly where it wanted them to go.
Quint, watch out!
Quint fired blindly into the suffocating dark, muzzle flashes strobing against the void. Each bullet vanished into nothing. No roar, no blood, no proof the creature was even there. Then came the sound, metal groaning, splitting, too late. The massive power generator came hurtling from the shadows, a monstrous blur of steel and fury. Quint turned, eyes wide, but had no time to move before it slammed into him with bone-crushing force. The impact echoed like thunder, the wall buckling beneath the weight. Dust and concrete rained down as the corridor collapsed. Johnny and Evans ran, almost entombed in debris, choking on dust and dread. Through the darkness, Evans could only hear the last fading echo of Quint's rifle clattering to the floor, and the creature's low, guttural breath inches from the ruin. Then Evans spoke.
Johnny's scream pierced the darkness, raw and shattered, reverberating off the cold concrete like a dying heart. Johnny's voice broke through the darkness, raw with desperation, begging out for Quint, but there was just quiet. The rubble lay still, cold, and final. Quint was gone, buried beneath tons of twisted metal and concrete. The creature had done this deliberately, a calculated collapse not of rage, but strategy. It wanted us trapped, isolated, helpless, Every move it made was precise, predatory. It was hunting, not killing. Not yet. The air hung thick with dust and despair. Johnny trembled, eyes distant, haunted by the loss of his team, his family. The tremor in his hands betrayed the weight of everything we'd lost, yet somehow he held it together. Survival demanded it. The only way forward was below. The service hallway, a narrow artery of cold steel and flickering emergency lights, was still intact. I radioed Dr. Francis. My voice felt hollow, echoing in the static.
Doc, listen carefully. It's moving toward you and Dr. Watson. We're trapped, but we're rerouting through the lab's underground sewer system to reach you. Take cover now. Stay quiet. Doc, come in. Do you copy?
No response at first, just the pulse of static and the faint hum of something moving in the vents above us. Then, faint acknowledgement, trembling. We ran. Every step in that corridor sounded too loud, too alive. The map from the mainframe guided us, but even with it, the shadows seemed to twist, stretch, alive with whispers of something just beyond sight. The hunt was far from over.
Meanwhile, back in the dim observation lab, tension coiled in the air like something breathing. Dr. Watson and I froze as debris sifted from the ceiling and warped shadows flickered across the laboratory while distant thunderous echoes crept closer. The walls shuddered, fine dust raining down, each tremor another heartbeat dragging us toward ruin. Specimen 61's chamber crackled softly behind us, its dim stasis lights bleeding a sickly shimmer across the frost-clouded glass. Then it came. A guttural rumble that was no storm, but something ancient and alive. The creature was near. Its footsteps were slow, deliberate, unnervingly calm for something so savage. We understood then the reinforced walls were only an illusion of safety. And in that suffocating moment, I saw it clearly. Dr. Watson was afraid, truly afraid.
Dr. Francis, what do we do now? We're no match for that thing. Not in here, not anywhere.
Dr. Watson, I've got a plan. But first, we need to make sure Specimen 61 is fully conscious. No sedatives, light restraints.
Dr. Francis, have you lost your mind? If we take Specimen 61 off sedation, she'll tear us apart before that creature ever gets the chance to help her.
Dr. Watson, we don't have a choice. If we don't give it what it wants, none of us will make it out of here alive.
But, Dr. Francis, there has to be another way. My team is scattered, terrified, barely holding it together. What you're asking me to do, it's suicide.
No, on the contrary, Dr. Watson. If we do this, the creature will be contained within this section of the bunker. It's risky, but it's the only chance we have to survive. Dr. Watson's trembling hands guided the syringe into the tube, releasing the drug in slow, cautious increments. The hiss of the valve filled the sterile silence as mist swirled around the cryo chamber. A low vibration rippled through the floor. Then, its eyes opened. Pale, glacial orbs flickered to life, burning through the frost. The creature's breath fogged the glass, its muscles twitching beneath sheets of ice. From beyond the shadows, a rumble echoed. A second presence. The larger beast emerged from the dark, its silhouette monstrous and deliberate. Its head tilted, sniffing the air, searching. We ducked behind the observation console, hearts pounding, as the two creatures locked onto one another. The air grew heavy, charged with ancient recognition. Something primal was about to awaken.
Dr. Francis, it's here.
Okay, stay low, don't move. Evans and Johnny are en route. Not a sound, understood? The massive creature prowled through the lab, its every step vibrating through the floor. Then, it froze. Its head tilted, nostrils flaring as if catching a familiar scent. It saw her. Specimen 61. A low rumble escaped its chest before it melted back into the shadows, vanishing like a phantom of ice and fury. We watched in suffocating silence from behind the glass, hearts pounding so loud I swore it would hear. Its eyes had passed over us once, cold, searching, intelligent. For one terrifying heartbeat, I thought it saw me. But it didn't. Not this time. The observation room was soundproof. Thank God. Had it heard us breathe, we'd be dead already. In that moment, I realized we weren't just hiding from a beast. We were hiding from something that understood us.
Dr. Francis, where did it go? It was right there. How the hell did it just vanish?
It's waiting for us. I can feel it. I have to get out there, draw its attention away. Evans and Johnny are walking straight into a trap.
No, Dr. Francis, please, don't go out there.
Dr. Watson, I have to go. There's no other choice.
As Evans and Johnny burst through the service bay corridor, their boots hammering against the steel floor, I screamed through the comms, "It's a trap!" The words had barely left my mouth when the darkness erupted. From the abyss, the Yeti emerged. Massive, grotesque, its breath a plume of frost, its eyes burning with something almost human. Rage. It lunged, claws slicing through the cold air, nearly seizing Johnny, but Evans yanked him away just in time. The darkness felt hollow, almost empty, as if the Yeti had dissolved into it. Yet we knew better. It was there, breathing somewhere within the void, patient and unseen. The silence wasn't safety, it was strategy. It waited, coiled in shadow, ready to ambush the first one of us to move. Camouflaged within the darkness, the Yeti seized Evans in a crushing death hold, its monstrous strength grinding against his ribs as if they were brittle twigs. Bones groaned under the pressure. For one breathless moment, we believed he was already lost, swallowed by shadow, helpless in the creature's merciless grip. Metal groaned, flesh strained. With a burst of heat, Evans' arm array ignited, searing the creature's hide, the smell of burning fur filling the corridor. Evans tore himself free, breath ragged, yet even unbound he felt it. He was hopelessly outmatched by the creature's brutal, merciless strength. Johnny opened fire, rounds ricocheting through the tunnel, flashes of light tearing at the darkness. The Yeti shrieked, wounded but not broken, its fury turning toward Johnny. It moved like a storm, relentless, vengeful. "Johnny, move!" Evans roared, his voice like steel cutting through chaos.
Doc, patch specimen 61 through the loudspeaker. Now. Let it hear her. Hurry, Doc, before it's too late.
Specimen 61 released a low, trembling roar that rippled through the cold air. Soft, almost mournful. The larger creature froze mid-charge, its massive frame shuddering as recognition flickered in its eyes. Johnny seized the moment, diving behind shattered equipment, his breath ragged in the silence that followed. Then, slowly, the beast's rage melted into something hauntingly human. It stepped forward, trembling toward the female encased in frost. The room seemed to hold its breath. Dr. Watson stared, her disbelief painted across her pale face, the weight of her choices crashing down on her. Evans lowered his weapon, his stance easing, though his eyes never left the creature. The two beings, monsters by science's hand, stood facing one another, a reunion forged in blood, tragedy, and the ruins of human ambition.
Doc, get with Dr. Watson and trigger the vault door override. It's our only chance to lead the creatures out of the bunker.
Yes, Evans. We're initiating the vault door override now. The massive creature moved with a terrifying grace, its claws, meant for slaughter, now quivering with fragile restraint as they closed around the bindings imprisoning specimen 61. Metal screamed beneath its strength, the sound ricocheting through the laboratory like a dying soul's final cry. Yet there was something disturbingly gentle in its movements. With solemn care, it lifted her broken form, cradling her against its chest as though she were something sacred, something irreplaceable. It held her cautiously, as if even the slightest pressure might shatter what remained of her. None of us dared to move. Even breathing felt like a crime. Johnny stood paralyzed beside me, his rifle hanging uselessly in his trembling hands, terror carved into every rigid line of his face. The reinforced vault door groaned slowly open, its ancient hinges protesting as a blast of Arctic wind tore into the chamber. The cold cut through the silence like a blade. Then, without warning or sound, the roaring wind obliterated the last traces of their departure. Super Soldier Evans stood at the doorway, his breath trailing out into the terrible cold, looking into the stark white vacuum where Specimen 61 and her companion had vanished. In the distance, a jagged stone archway showed out, etched with strange designs that pulsed slightly beneath the ice. As the light awakened, the creatures dissolved into it, vanishing into a frozen eternity or another realm. We could only speculate on the truth. The Yetis were not from this world. They'd been bound here, slaves of frequency and body, until one met the other and their resonances harmonized, freeing them to return home. Snow fell down softly, hiding their tracks as if the ground itself wanted to hide what had occurred.
I can't believe it. My whole team gone in an instant, all for greed and power. Human life meant nothing. We were just pawns in their game.
Yes, Johnny? To DARPA, we were all expendable, tools without remorse or worth. But we survived, and that's all that matters now. Behind us, the bunker groaned like a dying beast, a testament to greed, brutality, and hidden secrets. Evans peered into the storm, no longer the hardened weapon forged by corporate desire, but a man waking up to the horrible reality behind it all. Deception, profit, and mindless cruelty now hung about him like shackles. We survived, but it felt poisonous. The air felt thicker, as if the land was mourning what we had unleashed. The Yetis were free, but freedom frequently comes at a horrible cost. Evans finally turned to face me, his eyes sunken with knowledge. The storm consumed whatever words he tried to say, the snow piled higher, and the world became colder with each passing breath. And when the whiteout devoured the final traces of the bunker, a sickening knowledge sank in my bones. This calm, this frozen stillness was not the end. This was simply the beginning. Relief washed over us like a frail illusion. We had survived, pulled back from the brink of catastrophe. However, the air remained thick with what we had seen, and none of us dared to break the hush. Something felt odd, abnormally weighty, all save Dr. Watson. She stood out from the rest of us, unaffected by the dread we had experienced. While we sighed ragged relief, she remained oddly serene, her look remote and collected beyond explanation. It was as if death had swept past her, leaving no trace behind. Something about it gnawed at my mind. She was not relieved. She was not shaken. She was observing. Not all of us, only Evans. Her gaze remained on him with disturbing intensity, as if he were something newly found. Dr. Watson, are you all right? We made it. We're alive.
Dr. Francis, it appears you found me at a rare disadvantage. The collective never expected you or your super soldier Evans to survive. Evans has become sentient, and such awareness cannot be permitted within your world.
Dr. Watson, what are you talking about?
Wait, what is that in the sky? What the hell is happening out here?
Things aren't what they seem, Dr. Watson. I scanned you initially on our first encounter, and my readings were jammed. I thought it was a malfunction, but I was wrong. What are you? Because you're not human.
My kind ruled this world millions of years before man ever drew breath. Now we have returned to reclaim what was always ours, for humanity has grown dangerously advanced, threatening the fragile balance of our ancient dominion.
Dr. Watson's appearance began to change. Her skin transformed into something ancient. Her figure flowed abnormally, as if the human shape she wore were simply a thin disguise. The familiar look slipped away like mist, revealing greenish, glittering scales underneath. Her skin glowed beneath the snowy background, reptilian and frigid. The eyes I had trusted calm-like, patient and scholarly, narrowed into vertical pupils gleaming with predatory knowledge. For a time, I couldn't breathe. My mind refused to accept the fact that was before me. Then the sky responded to the terror. A gigantic spaceship hovered silently above the facility, its vast hull devouring the night and blocking out the stars. It had been there the entire time, watching, waiting, and patient beyond human comprehension. My body remained in astonishment. Evans and Johnny had little time to respond. A bright column of pale light emerged from the vessel, piercing through the darkness like a blade. The laser hit them first. They stood by me for a time, attentive and rebellious. What comes next? They were frozen, not dead, not alive, just still. Their bodies rose slowly into the air, dangling like marionettes pulled by unseen strings. They slid silently upward into the open belly of the vessel, plunging into its chilly metallic depths. I attempted to move, attempted to yell. Another beam dropped. The brightness engulfed me entirely. Every nerve in my body lit up at once, like if gravity had been ripped away. The laboratory, the bunker, and the turmoil we had barely escaped all vanished in an instant. Then there was stillness. When feeling returned, the air felt off, colder, thinner. My eyes awoke slowly. We were no longer on Earth. Evans and Johnny lay still alongside me on a black metallic surface, their features pallid against a dull violet glow. The walls around us twisted like the innards of a living machine and pulsated softly with alien energy. While standing at the far end of the room was Dr. Watson, or whatever she actually was. Her reptile form stood peacefully amid the shifting lights of invisible consoles. Shadows loomed behind her, tall, vague figures observing us from the darkness. We were not imprisoned. We were specimens. Her scaled head tilted slightly as my consciousness faded. I fought to battle the darkness that was sucking me under, uncertain if this was real or a dream. Then, an alarm rang throughout the ship. A warning sound rang through the iron passageways, causing harsh lights to flare over the chamber. Something wasn't right. The reptilian forms moved. Their placid demeanor shattered as distant turmoil erupted someplace deeper within the vessel. That sounded like a mutiny. As my eyesight faded, I sensed something approaching from the passage outside the chamber. Someone, or anything. But weirdly, it did not feel like an adversary.
Dr. Francis, come on. I'll need to get you out of here.
Who are you, and where are we?
My name is Sergeant Jermaine Gregory. You're aboard the flagship of the Draco Reptilius High Command, known in Peruvian legend as the Los Palacaras. I'm here to extract you along with Johnny and Super Soldier Evans. We don't have much time.
Place your eyes, watch from the void. Silence screams where hope was destroyed. Footprints vanish in drifting snow. Nowhere left for the lost to go. The cold as teeth that never sleep. In the deep where the dark things creep. Below the ice a hollow moan. You walk this way alone, alone. Frostbite blooms on trembling skin. The endless white is closing in. No North Star guides through this despair. Just the weight of the frozen